What is happening, boot junkies? Let's do that again because I've already knocked something over. Oh, I'm going to do that. I got to stop. I got to do it again. And we're going to try and get it right. We're going to try and get it right this time. Fingers crossed. What's happening? It shakes. Why does it shake? What's happening, boot junkies? Mike Delgadio here, back with another video about home studio setup for voiceover. What? What's happening, boot junkies? Mike Delgadio here, back with another video about home studio setup for voiceover. And I've got a couple of mics in the booth today. And this one has actually been, I'm overdue on this one. The company that sent me this microphone, they've been waiting for a while, and I apologize for that. But I think I've got a good story to tell. Well, not a good story to tell, but I've got a lot of excitement about this microphone. The microphone that we have in the booth today is the Deity S-Mic 2, their shotgun microphone. So Deity microphone, I think, used to be a section, or used to be offered, they were aperture mics. And hopefully I don't say aperture Deity, because it was the aperture Deity for a long time. And now they've become Deity microphones, and this is the Deity S-Mic 2, short shotgun microphone. And we're going to talk about it today specifically for a voiceover type perspective. I'm not a location guy. I don't hold microphones over actors, so I can't speak to how well that works. However, anybody who's watched my channel for a long time knows that I use this microphone quite a bit. This is the Sennheiser MKH 416 shotgun microphone, and this has sort of been my reference shotgun microphone for voiceover for a long time, but it's expensive, and I was hoping to find a less expensive microphone that I could recommend to people who don't have the budget for a $1,000 microphone. And I really do think that this is a strong contender for a more budget-minded microphone. This is still not an inexpensive microphone. It's about $350, which is no joke. That's a lot of money, but it's not $1,000. So at roughly 1/3 the cost, does it have 1/3 the performance of the $1,000 microphone? That's what we're going to try and talk about today. So we're going to run through its specifications, some of the things I found about this microphone, some of the things that make it a $350 microphone over a $1,000 microphone, and we'll talk about it. We'll just run through it, and I'll let you hear both of these microphones side by side and let you know that if you're looking for the too long didn't watch version of this video, I love this microphone. I love this microphone. So let's start with full disclosure. Deity sent me this microphone. They actually sent it to me several months ago. Sorry about that. It took me a while to sort of get back in and start making videos again. But this is the first one since I've been back making videos, and this is the Deity S-Mic 2. They did send this to me. I will say right up front that I have liked this so much that I have purchased 4 more. I didn't tell Deity or anything like that. I've purchased 4 more for a corporate project that I'm working on, helping some other people do their explainer videos. We set up everybody with the same outfit, and we bought everybody these microphones because I love it. Let's talk about why. First, I don't know anybody at Deity, but my guess is when they were designing this microphone, they had the 416 in mind, and they were going to try and get as close as they could to the 416 form factor specifications at a significantly lower price point. And if you look at the specifications on paper between the two microphones, they're actually super similar. Let's start with the noise floor. The thing that when I first plug in a microphone and I first start listening to it, I turn my headphones all the way up and I just do this. I listen. And I try and find any noise that's not in the ambient room around me. And for all intents and purposes, there's nothing there. They both have a very similar noise floor, 12 dB, 13 dB. I think it's 12 for the Deity and it's 13 for the 416. really super similar. For all intents and purposes, they're silent. You're not going to have any underlying hiss generated by the microphone. Your preamp, maybe a different story. Elsewhere down the line, maybe a different story. But these microphones, I got nothing. I can hear my stomach growling from time to time, but the noise floor really, really very acceptably low. Certainly not the lowest of any of the microphones I've tested, but really, really low. Low enough as to be not an issue. The frequency response between the two microphones, also extremely similar. So similar as to be inconsequentially different. The 416 is from 40,000 hertz to 20,000 hertz, and the Deity S Mic 2, I wish I could say that better, the S Mic 2. This is 50 to 20,000 hertz. So for all intents and purposes, it's the exact same. In this style of microphone, generally, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be rolling off from 80 hertz and lower, the really low bass. You're probably going to roll that off anyway, especially if you're using this outside and you got to worry about just the rumble of the world. You're going to take that away. So, for all intents and purposes, the frequency response sensitivity is the same. Otherwise, the specifications, I've got the spec sheets right in front of me. 130 decibel maximum sound pressure level, because they both you can be super loud and the microphones should be fine. There are no buttons, there are no switches, there are no anything on these microphones. They just plug them in and you connect it and you do everything downstream from them. They are very similar from a size-wise, same thickness. I think they're both made out of brass. They're both painted black. They're both very durable. They're both supposedly immune to radio frequency interference. They're both somewhat weather resistant. You're not water resistant, but you can have them out and you can get them like sprinkled with water in the rain. If that's going to happen, then you're not going to blow the microphone up. So on paper, these two microphones seem, for all intents and purposes, they seem identical. Sound-wise, they're not identical. They're really not identical. And that really is, you can see how they're different by looking at the frequency response graphs themselves of how they're different, at least the two that I have. The Sennheiser has been really well loved as a voiceover microphone. A lot of people use it, especially for TV, for promos and things like that. It's because it's a very crisp mic, but it's also got a really bass-friendly response. So if you've got a voice similar to mine where you got that bass and you want to get up there and you just want to work that microphone and really just bring out the muscle in your voice, the 416 is very friendly to it, but it's also very friendly to female voices, to higher voices. There are lots of voice actors who use this as their microphone. And I'll put up the frequency response graph. What's nice about the 416 is it is essentially a flat microphone from the bass frequency up until the high mid-range, low treble to about 5,000 hertz. And then there's a very distinct presence boost, and it's just sort of flat from there. Well, not quite flat, but it's just a very pronounced, like 6 decibel boost of the treble. It's like turning the treble knob up on this microphone, and it just brings that presence up, and it makes it nice and crisp and clear. But the way the microphone handles it still sounds smooth. It's not piercing. It doesn't sound like a needle in your ear. It just brings out the clarity. Now, on the other hand, the Deity mic, as I've gone back and forth, you will see that it does sound different. It's got a more mid-range forward sense to it, and it is not nearly as bright. And the frequency response graph, I think, bears that out. It shows that there is a boost in the mid-range. There's almost like this weird hump that you don't see very frequently in the mid-range. It has a presence boost there, but then the treble goes back down to flat. So it's got this weird presence boost just in the mid-range, which I don't think sounds great. That little presence boost, I would much rather it either be flat or to have that presence boost be higher up. Now, my experience in using this microphone is that it's very easily corrected with an EQ curve. So in your DAW, it is fairly easy to equalize, to put in an EQ curve that makes this microphone sound virtually indistinguishable from this microphone. So at 1/3 the cost, you can get to like within 85 to 90% of the sound of the 416. What did I get when I got the mic? So both of these microphones, I just got the bare one. So the Sennheiser is one that I bought, and it comes in its typical case. Now, for the packaging, I'm not going to do an unboxing because it's already unboxed, but the packaging, the Sennheiser packaging, I think for the price of this microphone is a little bit on the chintzy side. So it's just this plain old plastic box. It's just plastic, 2 clips, and it comes with a non-shock mount, just a clip thing, and a foam box that's not weatherproof. It's not lockable. It's not nothing. It's just plain old box. This thing stays in your truck. This stays behind. Whereas the Deity, their box actually is much more substantial, much more rugged, and I was surprised by that. It does lock. It's got little holes in it so that you can put a padlock or 2 in front of it. You can lock this microphone up. I think this is a little bit more weather resistant, but it's definitely not a waterproof mic. It comes with essentially the same setup inside. It comes a slot for the mic, a slot for the foam, and a slot for the clip, which it's not in here, but it's just a regular old clip mic. I think mine arrived broken, but I wouldn't use it anyway. I never use that clip. The shock mount that I am using, not part of this, you'll see, but my Sennheiser, I'm not using my regular one. I've actually switched to using Rycote mounts because they're just magnificent, if a bit pricey. If you are curious, this is this mount here is the Rycote. It's a mouthful. This is the INV7HG MK3. I think that's the Mark III, but these are no joke. These are like $79 a piece. So worth it, but expensive. Sorry. One of the things that you'll do a lot as a voice actor is you will get right up onto that mic and you will chew on that mic a little bit. And so I do want to just give you an example of what the proximity effect sounds like. So if you get right up on that microphone, it does tend to bring out the bassiness of your voice. The same thing with the 416. As you get right up on that microphone, it will tend to bring out the bassiness in your voice. So they do both demonstrate the proximity effect. And sometimes you can work that to good effect. I will say that at least in my booth, as I get right up on it, I do need to, especially if I'm going to be louder, I'll turn the gain down on my preamps. 1 second. So I turn them both down. I should be quieter, but now if I get up right on there and exercise that proximity effect, hopefully I'm not going to make the mic clip, but I can really put that gravel into my voice. I can talk in a nice loud aspect, and hopefully it doesn't clip, but I can speak loudly into the microphone, bring that bass out. You can get up close and loud to these microphones. They do have the 130 decibel sound pressure level, but I do find that you do need to probably adjust the gain if you're going to get up there and get loud on it. But otherwise, if you're just getting close, 1 second. If you're just trying to get close, just to work the proximity effect, and you're going to talk in a lower voice, but you want that authority to come out in your voice. You'll hear this in commercials a lot, where somebody will just be right up on that microphone and they'll be saying something really intimate to you, and you want it to sound really authoritative but really confident and intimate. That's when you get up right on that microphone, like you're whispering it to somebody else's ear, and you can use that proximity effect really to a great advantage. And these microphones will allow you to do that. Both of them will allow you to do that. So that's the proximity effect. The last thing, I don't think I mentioned this in the beginning, is the pattern of these microphones. They are both a super cardioid pattern, and that's typical for a shotgun. And what that means is as you move over to the side of the microphone, it rejects that sound. So they are very insensitive from the side. So one of the nice things about using a shotgun is if you are using this in a less than ideal studio kind of space, like in your basement, you can actually eliminate some of the noise that's around you if you place that noise source on the side. So let's imagine that your PC is over there. Put your PC fan 90 degrees to the microphone, and it's going to hear it a lot less. That sound is still going to bounce off the wall behind you and into the microphone, so you'll still hear that, but the direct noise source directly coming into the mic from the side, it will hear it a lot less. These are good mics. These are both really good mics. These are both really, really good microphones. I'm really happy with both of them. And I didn't know what to expect when this S2 came to me. And I have been really, really pleasantly surprised. Once I got the EQ curve right to take away that tubbiness, that roundness in the middle that I don't think was very flattering, I put a little presence boost in there, and I dipped that one little notch, that one little bump out. I notched that out. And as the default EQ curve, I think I can make this with a 5-minute EQ. I can make this microphone sound to within 90% of this microphone, and really been super happy with it. Super happy with it. So much so that I bought a number of them. So I hope that helps. If you are looking for a shotgun type mic for your voiceover booth, I think that you could do very well. If your budget is limited, I think you could do really well by getting the S Mic 2 from Deity. I hope that helps. I really hope that helps. What else is there? That's all I have to say about that. Now, go get yourself a microphone, maybe a shotgun style microphone, maybe a premium one, maybe a budget one, but get yourself a microphone, then get into your booth, whatever your booth looks like, and get out there and record something amazing. Great. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks.